So today I'm going to play the Goliath, which is a poker tournament in Coventry. I'm playing the 1H flight, which is a turbo format, so the blinds are 20 minutes instead of 30. So in terms of my strategy, in general I just want to feel confident at the table and be able to put in some bluffs. I want to be able to figure out the players that I can value bet thinly against, so kind of the old dudes that are going to call down middle pair, bottom pair and top pair weak kicker all the way to the river. Also, I want to be careful about multi-way pots. A lot of the training and the stuff I learn about is all to do with like heads up pots. So when it's multi-way, you know, you share the equity, it's more likely that someone's got some good holdings. So this means putting in less C bets, especially when you're out of position. And again, looking out for those players that are going to call all the way down to the river. You don't want to try and bluff them, even if it's a really well-connected board with flush draws, straight draws. They're probably going to call down their top pair every time, so just don't put in a bluff. Okay, let's go. Currently hiding in a little booth because I've got like 15 minutes until it starts. My time, doing a bit more of this. There's a lot of dudes and guys walking around. Okay, the first round was great. I was hitting stuff, I was bluffing, I was getting people off hands. I made a fold, which was quite obvious he was like strong with the straight. So I definitely think that was a good fold. And yeah, it's going really well. I mean, I don't have loads of chips. I got 35k, average stack is 30. But yeah, feeling good and feeling positive. I think this is gonna go well. My table's all right. There's two old dudes limping, and then there's a few other kind of aggressive. One of them's 5x open raising. Two people have gone out from my table already. I'm still in. I'm happy. So because I didn't get much content actually at the poker table, I decided to do a few hand breakdowns. So here in the low jack with 70 big blinds, I opened to 2.5x, 1,000. Got a call from the left, small blind folded and the big blind completed for 1,000. So this made the pot into 3,600 and we were 3 ways to a flop. The flop came down quite a nice jack 10, 4, rainbow. Big blind checked. I decided to put in a continuation bet. You can often check in places where you're close, where your ranges are meant to be quite close, but I knew this player, I'd been observing him for a while. He was an old player, limping most hand, making wide calls, calling down middle and bottom pair from what I'd seen. So I decided to put in a continuation bet just to try and extract some value from him, around 30% pot, so another 1,000, got a call, and the big blind decided to fold. Next came down a 2, still a rainbow board. I decided to pop in another bet for the same reasons, around 30% again, so 1,800, and we got another call, meaning the pot was at 9,200. And finally a 6 came down on the river, didn't really change much, and I decided to size up just to try and extract as much value from him as I can, put in 5k, and we got the call. He shows down 4, 6 of hearts. So obviously disappointed with this run out, but I kind of knew that my strategy was along the right lines, trying to get him to call down. He was calling down bottom pair on the flop and turn. So all in all, it was the right thing to do, just a bit unfortunate the way that it ran out here. Apparently coffee is a performance enhancing drug in poker. Let's go for it. I run the turn on the first break. Gotta go back. It really makes you trek from the lanes to Pretty terrible round. Didn't get to play many hands. Just completely card dead. Every time I was in the big blind, someone was shoving, so didn't get to play many at all. Yeah, I'm down to, when we come back, it'll be 8 big blinds I have, so still a chance, still gonna keep going, but it's not looking as good. did it. We just made day 2. I literally just grinded fucking 10 big blinds for like 2 hours. That was crazy. Can't believe it. Thought it was all over, calling it all in with ace king of hearts, so the turn gave nothing, the river came down at ace, fucking brilliant, beat pair of eights. Guy was fuming. It was great. So this hand happened quite late on in the night. I just doubled up with ace king against eights from 10 big blinds and now at around 20 big blinds. I was under the gun with pocket jack, so I raised to 2x to 10k. Folded all the way around to the button who called, and the small blind also called. Big blind folded, meaning that there was a pot of 40k. The flop came down ace, queen, 8. Not an ideal board for jacks. But I didn't have much time to think before the small blind actually shoved all in for his remaining stack. So it was quite frustrating, but I made the fold and the button also folded. But you can see here how he lost value. You know, if he'd have checked, I probably would have put out a 30% c-bet because the ace queen is really good for my end of the gun range. But decided to shove all in and got minimum value from his ace, which he claimed to have had later. And then the big blind donk shoved, so I was folded. I was like, I was pretty pissed. Because obviously he's just shoving a queen or an ace there. And he was like, yeah, I had an ace. I was like, not cool. So we're going to be starting off day 2 with 12.5 big blinds, 125k. The bubble is fast though. I think apparently, well, someone said it's only going to be like 20 hands until the bubble. So obviously we want to make that. But yeah, fucking buzzing. 12 big blinds, that's not too bad. Could be worse. Best hand was trapping the dude on my left, who was quite nice actually, who were having some good chats. I had aces in the small blind and just limped it. He shoved all in with king 10 off. It's the right thing to do, and I just snap called him and it held. That was quality. Yeah, he wasn't too happy though. I drank way too much coffee, but I think that's it. I couldn't count by the end of the night. I could barely count my fucking stack, which was kind of embarrassing. Time to go home and get up in the morning to go again. Day 2, bring it. Just doing a little bit of 12 big blind study for when I go in tomorrow. There's 40-minute blind levels, so we'll have a good amount of time for 12 big blinds. So just having a look. Good morning, world. This is my wake-up call. Can I also just add, I witnessed quad aces and quad kings at my table yesterday. All dude next to me had quad aces, obviously. And someone else had quad kings. I've never seen it before. I've never had quads live. I've had it once online. Where's my quads? I mean, my little brother has given me this, which has the jack of spades and the ace of diamonds. So there's a king, jack of spades and the king of diamonds on it. So hopefully it's gonna be a good hand. I was thinking I haven't had jack king of any combination, like once. I haven't had that yet, so. Okay, we're running pretty late and there is a massive queue. Have they like not opened the doors? Like surely they would get people in. But yeah, it's meant to start in 5 minutes. I hope they don't start it without me. And we join the queue in the rain. Here was my day 2 table. This is me with 125k. As you can see, there were loads of big stacks throughout the table, so quite intimidating. I started off with king jack off, under the gun, decided to fold. I didn't want to get called, particularly by kind of the big blind, who was the chip leader. Thought he'd call quite wide to try and knock me out, and like any random ace, I'll start off behind, so I just didn't really think it was the right position to raise it from. So the blinds moved round and I paid my 10k big blind and ante. And I looked down at my cards a little bit early just to give myself more time to figure out my strategy as the action goes around to me, and I looked down at pocket aces. So then the action folded all the way around to the small blind, and the small blind decided to complete for 10k. This made me think, oh, they're probably quite strong here because they're going to try and raise and get me to fold most of my kind of middle strength hands. You know, if they're raising with their 4, 5, 6, 7s, kind of queen 5 off, that's going to get me to fold my semi-decent hands like jack 10 suited. Like, will I want to shove these over the top and kind of risk my tournament life? Probably not, so close to the bubble. So the fact that they called here made me think they're quite strong. And so I just decided to shove, so I went all in and they called, and they ended up having queens, which is about right. Anyway, we went to we saw the run out, and unfortunately there was a queen on the flop, so that was pretty, there wasn't really much chance. There was no flush or straight or anything for me, and it just finished off with a 5-5 to give them the full house. So I'm out. That was very disappointing. First hand I played and straight out. Yeah, bit shit. I'm gutted. But yeah, not really much I can do except get over it. So fucking frustrating, and I'm angry. And I'm so tired. Yeah. Oh well. I really wanted to make the money. It was only 100 away. If I'd have doubled up then, it would have been a really nice position just to wait for the cash. And yeah, aces. You know, it just goes to show, like, every time I play I feel more confident and I'm learning, and I feel more relaxed at the table. And you know, for anyone that's thinking of starting playing, just go and do it, because the first time it might be really scary, but the second time it'll be less scary, and then it'll be better and better and better. So yeah, just go and do it and gain confidence, and you know, it'll be fine.